Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever you're tuning into this video, I hope you're having an absolutely amazing day. I want to come on and talk to you real quick about carbs because I was scrolling on Facebook earlier this week and I saw a post that said carbs and sugars are killing us. And there were hella comments, everybody in the comments like, yes, yes, I've been saying this. This is why I do keto. I want to talk to you about exactly why that is wrong and how you should approach carbs differently if you actually want to create consistency in the way that you eat healthier. Okay. Now, if you're not familiar with me, I am nutritionist Dani Taylor, and I work with women to help them eliminate overeating, feel good in their body, and finally consistently eat healthier without sacrificing their happiness or good food. And one of the ways that I do this is by not encouraging people to cut out whole food groups, okay? Because for one, it is absolutely not a sustainable way for you to live. So, if you have been somebody that has said, I'm cutting out carbs, I'm doing keto, I'm going low carb or whatever the case, and you did that specifically because somebody told you that carbs are bad, then I want you to go ahead and share this video, okay? I want you to share this video for one, because I'm about to help you. I'm about to break down good carbs, bad carbs, which are which, and how you should approach them. But also, I want you to share this because if it is you, it is probably somebody around you too. And I want to help them too, all right? And so, one of the reasons why I want to have this conversation is not only because of the post that I saw, but I've also been talking to women who have been coming to me saying things like, is the sugar in bananas breaking down the same way as the sugar in candy and those kinds of things? And a lot of people come to me and they have these did distorted beliefs about carbs simply because the diet industry has told us that carbs are terrible. Carbs are bad. Stay away from carbs if you want to live healthier. But what they didn't tell you is there is a difference between carbs. So there's a such thing as simple carbs and complex carbs. One of them is nutrient dense and actually really great for you. And the other is the thing that is probably sending you the wrong way if you're overeating. But you need to know the difference if you're going to move forward in a way that supports your overall health, but also a way that supports your happiness and your consistency, your satisfaction. Okay. So I want you to go ahead and comment in the comments below if you have ever heard that you shouldn't eat carbs or that sugar in fruit breaks down the same way as sugar in candy, and you should just stay away from all sugars altogether. Go ahead and drop me an orange heart in the comments if you've ever ever heard those things, y'all. Sometimes I get so excited about some of these topics and I already talk fast as it is. So sometimes my tongue is just like, I'm trying to get the words out. Anyway, drop me an orange heart in the comments if that has ever been you. Okay. I want you to know it is not just you. If you've been around me long enough, then you know that I have cycled through different diets, no carb, low carb, keto, all of those different things. And one of the things that I see a lot of people doing when it comes down to different diets that are low carb or no carb is ignoring your body's response to how that's affecting you. Your body is trying to let you know what you're doing is not supportive of your overall health. And it's doing that in different ways. So, one of the ways is, especially if you're somebody who does keto, you may have heard of the keto flu, right? People say, you're just going to get sick if you do keto, it just happens. But what's actually happening with the keto flu is that you have put your body into a space of not being able to utilize the carbs that it needs for energy, which is actually your body's main source of energy. Okay. Carbs are your body's main source of energy. So, for anybody going out there saying, no, I'm just not going to have carbs, carbs are terrible for you, you literally need carbs for you to exist. Okay. Now, what happens on the flip side of that is people who try to put their bodies into a carb deprived state, which is what people on keto do, they end up putting their body into a hypoglycemic state, which means their blood sugar is low. And what happens with that is keto flu symptoms. You get fatigue, you get headaches, you get brain fog, you get shakiness, you get confusion, you get unconsciousness. Like the craziest things can happen from being in a hypoglycemic state. And people are using this as a way for them to be able to lose fat. And if you are doing that, you're doing your body more harm than you're doing it any good. Okay. If your body is going through all those different changes just for you to be able to simply exist, okay, that is not a sustainable way for you to be able to live, for one, happy, or for you to be able to live healthy. Okay. So unless your doctor is following your protocol, is following your diet and telling you to do certain things, I highly recommend that you never try to follow through with a extremely carb deprived type diet. Okay. I'm saying diet, but I mean any way of eating. I don't recommend diets anyway, but your diet, your way of eating is something that I don't recommend that you do if you're planning on trying to do a low carb way of eating, right? Now, another thing that people don't pay attention to, which I already just mentioned, is that there are two different classes of carbs. So you may have heard this be described as complex carbs. You may have not heard this at all, but you may hear this described as complex carbs and simple carbs, or whole and refined. There is a big difference. Complex carbs or whole carbs are carbs that are more nutrient dense. These are things like vegetables, fruits, potatoes, beans, legumes, grains, quinoa, barley, those kinds of things, right? Things that are actually nutrient dense and can get you the nutrients not only your body needs to be able to replenish your cells, but get those carbs and that glucose in your body that you need for you to be able to just function properly as a person, right? So if you are following this blanket statement of no carbs, that's actually cutting out the good stuff for you too. Now, when most people say, carbs are bad, or when I used to say carbs are bad, I try not to say that no more because no food is bad. No food is inherently good or bad. There are just foods that are more nutrient dense than others. That's it, right? So when most people say that carbs are bad, from a expert perspective, from a nutritionist perspective, they're likely talking about simple carbs. Those are the carbs that you find in sodas and candies and pastries and those kinds of things, right? Those are like the high fructose corn syrups and the things that convert to your body, and they're just are immediately stored as fat because there's just like no other purpose for them. There's no other nutrients there. And those are the things that build up around your waist and that kind of thing. Those spare tires you're trying to get rid of, that's what that is, right? So it's not that simple carbs are necessarily bad carbs for you. It's just that you probably shouldn't have those as much. Well, definitely shouldn't have those as much as complex carbs, but you probably shouldn't have those as much as you are having them, because that's what's sending you the wrong way on the scale of not feeling good in your body and not feeling the best about your weight and not feeling the best about your energy levels, right? You want to get in those good complex carbs so that your body can have those good energy sources for you to build off of, right? For you to be able to function off of. If you are out here trying to follow a no carb or extremely low carb way of living, you're actually doing your body more harm because it has to use your fat cells and your fat storage for you to be able to for you to be, I don't know why I just had an extreme brain fart just then, but for you to be able to function, it starts to break down your fat cells, which is what people intend to do when they get on keto. But there are much and far healthier ways for you to do that. You don't have to send your body into a hypoglycemic state for it to be able to burn the fat storage. You simply just need to increase the healthier things that you are having, because your body's going to use what it has. And as you continue to take in those healthy things, your body is even burning a fat by processing the nutrients and things like that and the healthy foods that you're eating. So you don't have to go into a space of cutting out all carbs. For one, you shouldn't, but you shouldn't even you don't even have to get into a space of cutting out all simple carbs. Once you find that balance, once you find that a rhythm where you're able to eat healthier consistently but still be able to add in that pastry every now and then, or add in those Oreos every now and then, that is the balance that you want to have for you to be able to consistently eat healthier and be in a healthier space. Okay. So that's the gist of it. I highly recommend that if you are going into a space of you eating healthier and you're trying to healthy up your diet, please don't follow any of these blanket statements like cut out all carbs or cut out all sugars, any of that stuff, right? Follow what feels best for you, for one, but for two, follow what's nutrient dense. Okay, don't follow these blanket statements of just cut out all carbs, because that shit is crazy. What is nutrient dense? What is going to be the best for you in the long term for the goals that you have? Your goals being you want to feel good in your body, Some of us have goals of being a certain weight because that allows us to feel good in our body. We want to be healthier. We want to have more energy. We want to have clear thoughts. We want to be able to concentrate when there's something for us to concentrate on. If you put your body into a hypoglycemic state, your concentration is trash. Okay. You have brain fog. You don't really want to do anything. You're walking around here like a zombie until that space is over when you don't even have to do that in the first place. Okay. So I hope this was helpful for you. If you are somebody who is trying to healthy up your meals and you hear these different kinds of things like cut out meat or cut out carbs or cut out any macronutrient, right? If you or any food group, if you are somebody who has been told to cut out any of those things and you feel like that's just not right, or I don't know how to do that, that doesn't feel good for me, then I want to talk to you, have a conversation with you about your specific goals and help you move in a way that is actually going to be supportive of you and not something that is going to be destructive to your body. Okay. And if you know that you want that, you don't want to be in the space of trying to figure out all this shit on your own because it is complex, it's confusing, you don't know what is what, and some of these diets have conflicting information. If you don't want to be somebody who has to sift through all of that stuff for you to be able to create the consistency that you want, then I highly encourage you to go to the link in the comments or above this video to book your food freedom consultation so we can sit down for about 30 minutes, figure out what your goals are and your action steps to help you get there. If you're somebody who is following a low or no carb diet, highly recommend that you go ahead and book your food freedom consultation because you don't have to live in those restrictive spaces for you to create the consistency that you want to have around food and in your health. Okay. So, again, I highly recommend you go to the link in the comments or above this video to book your food freedom consultation with me so we can sit down and discuss your goals and make sure you're very clear about what's going to help you get there in terms of food knowledge, in terms of your habits, and all that. Okay. So if you need that, I want to do that for you. I want to sit down with you and help you in that space so you don't have to sit through all of these conflicting conversations that people are having, these non-experts. I feel like, oh gosh, what was that girl's name on Flavor of Love? I don't know, Toasty. It wasn't, I can't remember the girl's name. The one who said she looks like Beyonce when she blinked and her eyes had and her eyes had sound. Anywho, so you absolutely don't need to be in those restrictive spaces for you to live a consistently healthier lifestyle. And I want to help you with that. So go ahead, click the link in the comments. Otherwise, I will talk to you soon.